It's like Justin Baldoni saying, I'd love to work with Blake again.
Ooh, and even the audience is like laughing, but like...
Blake Lively has captured everyone's attention. This time, not for a movie or fashion statement. Reports say she's filing an $80 million lawsuit against Saturday Night Live after a shocking on-air moment left her feeling humiliated in front of millions. How did a single comedy sketch turn into a major legal battle with one of TV's most iconic shows?
To me, this shows SNL playing its cards of, yeah, they're clearly, they know Blake Lively is crazy.
And what does this explosive fight reveal about the extreme lengths celebrities go to protect their image? This story centers on Blake, Ryan Reynolds, and a disastrous joke that spiraled into a PR and legal firestorm. Once seen as Hollywood's golden couple, they suddenly found themselves the subject of viral embarrassment, fueled by a scandal tied to Ryan's offhand comments and an SNL segment that changed everything.
And then we've also got this story, Justin Baldoni. Now, as you know, these jokes are written like sometimes up until the minute.
It all started when SNL aired a skit featuring Colin Jost, who made a subtle but stinging remark about Blake and Ryan's rumored legal troubles, allegedly worth hundreds of millions. Overnight, social media exploded, speculating on Blake's lawsuit and Ryan's connection. The timing couldn't have been worse. Ryan had chosen to make an SNL cameo despite already facing pressure from swirling rumors involving Justin Baldoni, who reportedly had a complicated past with Blake. Then came the moment no one saw coming. When asked casually, "Hey Ryan, how's it going?" His nervous joke made it clear something deeper was at play. The audience teetered between laughter and disbelief.
What? Listen to Colin crack even before he says it, because he knows this is going to get me in trouble.
Colin Jost took it further, slyly referencing Justin Baldoni's alleged desire to work with Blake again.
Which is like Justin Baldoni saying, I'd love to work with Blake again.
Twisting it into a political analogy that suddenly felt personal. A biting punchline landed, leaving viewers stunned. The internet erupted.
Colin is now married to Scarlett Johansson, who Ryan Reynolds allegedly, the rumors are, cheated on her with Blake Lively.
Some pointed out that Colin's wife, Scarlett Johansson, is one of Ryan's exes, adding even more layers to the drama. Whether the jab was planned or spontaneous, people felt the sting. Almost instantly, media outlets tore apart Blake's carefully crafted image, dragging up old rumors and questioning her authenticity. Headlines mocked the idea that Justin Baldoni would ever work with her again. What started as a fleeting joke became a full-blown scandal, one that could cost SNL millions and permanently shift the public's perception of Blake Lively.
Now, what's fascinating, though, is the judge denied it. The judge was like, nope, you do not have a good enough excuse.
Social media exploded with theories, memes, and heated debates. Within 24 hours, 3.5 million people had viewed or reshared clips of the joke, turning it into a viral wildfire. Industry whispers claimed Blake panicked. This wasn't just bad press, it was public humiliation. People weren't just reading headlines, they were mocking her. Old interviews where A-listers praised Blake resurfaced.
Who else has a question?
I have a question.
Oh, hey, Ryan Reynolds. How's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Now viewed with skepticism. Meanwhile, Ryan faced backlash of his own. Critics questioned why he was cracking jokes instead of controlling their crisis. To regain control, Blake made a bold move. She hired Nick Shapiro, a man reportedly tied to high-level intelligence work. Hollywood stars hire PR experts, but someone with intelligence links? That suggested this situation was serious. Then came the accusations of hypocrisy. Blake had previously slammed Justin Baldoni for using PR tactics.
Now, what's fascinating, though, is the judge denied it. The judge was like, nope, you do not have a good enough excuse.
Yet now she was bringing in a political-level fixer. It looked like a strategy to spin the lawsuit in her favor. Suddenly, news headlines screamed, "Huge win for Blake," and "Judge backs Blake." But sharp-eyed observers noticed the truth. Her legal demands had reportedly been reduced or rejected. Instead of calming the storm, each PR move fueled more suspicion. Why, if Blake had such a strong case, did she need these extreme measures? Then, Ryan was hit with his own controversy. An old clip surfaced where he joked about staring at a breastfeeding woman. On its own, it might have been shrugged off, but it directly clashed with Blake's past accusation against James Heath, who she claimed made inappropriate eye contact while she was nursing. Critics cried double standard. If fleeting glances were a violation, how could Ryan's extended staring be a joke? This shattered Blake's credibility. What once seemed like a solid case now looked questionable. Fans who initially defended her began to doubt the entire situation. And in Hollywood, image is everything. One wrong move and support vanishes overnight. Instead of Hollywood rallying behind Blake, her co-stars and industry partners gave awkward and hesitant responses. When pressed, they either dodged the topic or gave generic support for everyone's statements. One castmate from her upcoming film was asked, "How are you supporting her?" His reply, "It's complicated." Another high-profile colleague offered lukewarm praise, clearly more concerned with protecting the movie's marketability than defending Blake.
We'll do what we want because we're more powerful than you. And he finally had enough and he countersued.
Commentators noted that when an A-list star becomes a liability, the industry doesn't attack them. They quietly step away. Media watchers recalled similar moments when Hollywood quickly distanced itself from embattled celebrities. Meanwhile, Ryan leaned into humor, as he always has. But in the midst of a legal scandal, his usual charm fell flat. His casual jokes only made the accusations feel even more serious. Then there was the added tension with Colin Jost. People speculated about his personal link. He's married to Scarlett Johansson, Ryan's ex, which could have influenced his jabs. Whether true or not, the public was no longer enchanted by Ryan's comedic approach.
Yes, she's allowed to have one, but why were you criticizing Justin? So anything Justin does is retaliation? Anytime he defends himself, it's retaliation? Nonsense.
Blake, however, doubled down. Instead of letting the controversy fade, she pushed aggressive PR tactics.
You're telling me, Blake, you didn't leak this out?
Headlines screamed, "Blake wins big." But legal experts pointed out that the actual court documents didn't support those claims. Her requests had largely been denied or restricted. It felt like a battle of spin, where small procedural updates were exaggerated into major victories. As the PR machine churned, Hollywood insiders began backing away. Big productions need bankable stars, and if someone's off-screen drama starts overshadowing their work, studios pivot fast. Producer talk shifted from praising Blake to avoiding mention of her altogether. Even brand endorsements, once a stronghold of her public image, started looking unstable. The fallout went beyond Hollywood. Advertisers who had tied themselves to Blake's wholesome image grew nervous. She had been the face of family-friendly campaigns and philanthropic ventures, but now those partnerships seemed at risk. Executives who once boasted about her warmth and class were now issuing carefully worded statements, buying time to assess the situation. Adding to their unease, the high-profile hiring of an ex-intelligence operative. It signaled that this wasn't just a Hollywood scandal. It was something bigger and possibly damaging. Producers grew uneasy, fearing they'd be seen as complicit in media manipulation or cover-ups. For a celebrity like Blake, who balanced glamour with a relatable image, this was dangerous territory.
His job, he had blank checks to make things go away so that it didn't get to the media.
Suddenly, online communities obsessed over every leaked email, court snippet, and insider whisper. It mirrored past Hollywood scandals, where public opinion turned into a full-blown social media circus. People weren't just discussing Blake and Ryan, they were questioning Hollywood itself. Who gets protected? How are narratives controlled? And what really happens when double standards are exposed? Industry insiders started murmuring that future projects with Blake and Ryan might be quietly shelved. Studios pay attention to online sentiment, and when negativity gains traction, they adjust. Fast. Projects once linked to Blake were suddenly in flux. Scripts were being reviewed to see if they could proceed without her. Mid-budget dramas, where her presence once added star power, were now exploring alternative leads. On the surface, these shifts seemed subtle, but behind closed doors,
This is what blew me away. When she first came out with all this, I went, what he is, you know? And as a...
Everyone did.
Hollywood was hedging its bets. For Ryan, his signature comedic charm was starting to backfire. Jokes that once felt effortless now seemed tone-deaf. His wisecracking, once his biggest asset, now undermined his credibility. Critics pointed out that Ryan's PR strategy has always leaned on a playful, self-aware persona, but in a storm of lawsuits, intelligence-linked PR hires, and serious allegations, his deflections felt less like humor and more like avoidance. Fans took notice. Some felt misled by the couple's carefully crafted family-first image. The breastfeeding controversy became a lightning rod. If Blake was arguing that a fleeting glance was traumatic, how could Ryan's admission of prolonged staring be dismissed as a harmless joke? That contradiction fueled intense online debates, pushing even loyal supporters toward skepticism. As the scandal dragged on, a bigger conversation emerged about modern Hollywood feuds. When top-tier stars, massive lawsuits, and sensational rumors collide, headlines don't fade, they multiply. Observers compared this to past defamation and harassment suits, where every strategic leak, press release, and TV appearance was orchestrated to control the narrative. But legal experts were clear. In the end, evidence would decide the case, not PR. If Blake's claims weren't solid, no amount of spin could save them in court. And if Ryan kept feeding the media with offhand remarks, he might just sink whatever credibility they had left.